What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Cal here from Buffalo SportsCenter, and today we are going to be previewing the Week 2 preseason game between the Bills and the Steelers. This one's going to be happening Saturday at 7 p.m. at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. I was recently in Pittsburgh. I go to Pittsburgh almost every year. Beautiful city. It's just absolutely gorgeous down there. You know, you got the football stadium, Acrisure, right there by the rivers, the bridges, all that. You got PNC Park right next to it as well. So just a great stadium and a great host for this game. Now, both these teams are 0-1 coming off tough losses last week, so both teams looking for their first win of the preseason, and I think both teams are going to be excited to move on from that terrible Week 1. These teams will also have a joint practice earlier in the week, so again, you know, as history goes with these joint practices, you see a lot of starters play in the joint practice, not so much in the actual scrimmage game that takes place on television. So we'll see if they decide to, you know, go with the average route there and play a lot of backups in the game and maybe play more starters in the joint practice. Although both teams coming off tough losses, they might want to get their starters some more action in the actual game. So we'll see. Let's start talking about the Bills, though. You know, this one was a tough one. They lost 33-6 to the Chicago Bears in Week 1. Josh Allen played a little bit, 2 for 3 with 22 yards. Mitch Trubisky went 10 for 18 with 82 yards. And then Shane Buechele went 6 for 10 with 53 yards, but also that pick six. And oh boy, the Bills are in trouble. The Bills are in a lot of trouble if they're unable to keep Josh Allen healthy all season long. But you never know. We'll see. The big talking point for this week, though, is the Bills' O-line. I mean, holy moly, was that a terrible performance from an O-line. They gave up 8 sacks, and it was just constant pressure, play after play after play. Now, I know what you're thinking. Last year, the preseason, the O-line did the same thing, and they were fine in the regular season. I get it. I'm not worried. It's preseason, but if that continues over, you know, this upcoming game and then Week 3, the Bills seriously have to look at their O-line and make some changes. But so far, let's not overreact, but not great from the O-line. And then we go to the Bills' rushing game. It was all right. I mean, Shane Buechele had the most rushing yards at 22. Frank Gore Jr. had 21 on 7 carries. And, you know, other than that, not a whole lot going on, but maybe we'll see a little more from the rushing game against the Steelers. As far as receivers go, Shakir looked good to open the game, 3 for 3 with 28 yards. Samuel, 2 for 2 with 23 yards. And then as far as the defensive side went, again, you gave up 33 points, so not a lot to talk about here. Dorian Williams had a sack, but Caleb Williams looked great against them. And, you know, the backups just got eaten up. Once the backups came in for both teams, the score just kept going up and up. So that's not great, but, you know, the last thing I'm going to talk about here, again, about the Bills here is Tyler Bass. 2 for 2 for field goals. I guess that's the only good thing that happened. 49-yarder was his long, so 2 for 2, we'll take that. Tyler Bass has struggled last season, but overall he's been a good kicker for the Bills, so hopefully he can get it back on track. Now let's switch topics and talk about the Steelers. So last week they lost 20-12 against the Texans. Again, the Texans played starters for some of the game. The Texans also had a whole warm-up game in the Hall of Fame game, so, you know, the Steelers were coming into this game at a disadvantage. Again, the only quarterbacks to play last week for the Steelers was Fields and Kyle Allen. Fields went 5 for 6 with 67 yards, so that's a good stat line for as little as he played. And then Kyle Allen went 17 for 23, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, but he also had an interception. Jonathan Ward went 6 for 26, and Dawan Edwards went 3 for 28, and also had a touchdown in the rushing game. As far as the passing game went, Connor Hayward had the receiving touchdown for the Steelers, and I know you're saying, how the heck did they have 2 touchdowns? Well, they went for 2 on the second one and didn't get it, and we'll get to the kicking game in a little bit. And then Calvin Austin, the third, had 2 receptions for 49 yards, pretty darn good there. And then Scott Miller looked very good as well. 3 receptions for 47 yards. The big talking point for the Steelers in that game was the fumbles. I mean, Fields fumbled the ball twice, Kyle Allen fumbled the ball once, and Quez Watkins also fumbled the ball once. So that's a big thing to keep watching for. And again, a Bills team that just lost by a ton. These defensive guys are going to be trying to punch that ball out, you know. So we'll see what happens in this Week 2 game. As far as sacks went, Jeremiah Moon and DeMarvin Leal had sacks, as well as Montravius Adams. So that's pretty good, 3 sacks. Again, it doesn't compare to the Bills giving up 8 sacks in week 1, but 3 sacks, you'll take that. And then, like I said, the kicking game, Matthew Wright, 0 for 1 on extra points. You cannot be 0 for 1 on extra points, especially in preseason. That just cannot happen. So, if you're a Steelers fan, you got to be looking at that. And we'll see if Matthew Wright can start making some field goals in this game against the Bills. But as far as that goes, let me know in the comment section who you think is going to win this game. Also, who are you looking for? Who do you want to see in this game? Again, I don't know how many starters are going to be playing with that joint practice, but if there are some starters, again, I would be looking to see Keon Coleman get some more action for the Bills. As far as the Steelers go, again, can Calvin Austin III and Scott Miller keep up the great game in the receiving game? And also, maybe we'll see some more starters than we did in that Week 1 game. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe. It's preseason, so I'm not going to, keep going with these videos and, make these 30 minutes long because, to be honest, there's not much to talk about when you don't know who's going to be playing. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching and have a good one. Peace.